Hello, hello, hello. I feel like it's been forever since I did a live, but that is just not true. I think it's because we did so many in a row last week. All right. Maybe this is the most important Facebook Live I've ever done for the group because it's going to recap the whole 5-day happiness journey. And hopefully you guys have some questions, but maybe I was just that good at explaining all this stuff. Very doubtful. Look at this, we're getting newbies. Okay. Hey, Penny. Hey, Kayla. So excited. Good. I'm excited. This is going to be fantastic. So actually, I'm glad you two are on here. Why don't we just start off with asking you guys if you have any questions for me? So let's see. What do we do? 5 days to happiness. Hey, Rebecca. So good to see you. We did peace. We did responsibility, acceptance, being present, and being grateful. Those were how I split up the 5 days. There's more to it than that, but those are, seriously, if you can master those things, you'll probably be happier than me on a regular basis. All right, I got me on the little screen too. Do you guys have any questions? Or should I just try to break down some of the key points? And we'll keep this to like a 6-minute live video, and then I'll leave. I'm just kidding. I'm just going to start talking about peaceful, being more at peace and inner peace. And then if questions pop up, I'll answer them. Rebecca says, good to see me too. 10 minutes and then off to the bus stop. I have a feeling this one is going to last a little while, Rebecca, so you might be able to catch us again. So good to see you for a few minutes. We're going to talk about peace while you're here, and then it'll be a good replay either way for you. So we got like angst on this end, and we got peace on this end, right? So it's good that I started with this one because a lot of us in this group have anxiety and we're trying to cure it, right? So what were some of the key takeaways from being anxious to being peaceful? A lot of that was how we experience things and how we choose to experience things, right? So everything in life that we think happens to us, we have to start looking at it like we have a choice to take it a certain way. If we want to be upset about something, that's fine. We are most likely justified. If we want to be sad about something, that's fine. We're justified. But if we want to approach things to get closer to the peaceful end rather than stay in the angst, anxiety, anger, frustration end, we have to start practicing my whole truth versus what's right. So that's you're arguing with somebody or you're in a situation where it can get bad or sad. You try to take, you look at it like it's the higher road, but you try to take an approach that's going to serve you best. So let's see. For example, if you're arguing with somebody, if it starts getting heated, it's really better to either just leave, take a breath, and walk away, or let them win, or anything that's just going to calm down the situation. And it seems weird and it seems so simple, but if you practice this stuff on a regular basis, you're going to be more at peace. I think like one of the big things that I like to talk about is for this is attention, defining intention. So I think like maybe that goes over some people's heads because I was just talking about subconscious today and how important that is. And your intention in life, it sounds easier than it is to understand. So like when you approach a situation, you might think that you have the greatest intentions in the world. You're like, oh, I'm always such a nice person, but this person is always fighting with me, and we can never agree on something, or they're I don't know. Like if you're butting heads with somebody, there is an intention in there inside of you typically that is like I'm gonna prove to this person that I'm right, or I'm going to try to explain to this person my opinion. I think a really important thing to note there is that if you have friends, and if you have family members, it It's amazing if you guys can agree on anything, because our personalities make us very, very different. So if a person is even 30% equal to you, that's fantastic. Then just try to find that 30% and stop trying to make them the other 70% you. Because if everybody acted like you or me all the time, it would get really boring really quickly. Let's see. I'm always talking about the intention experiment with the money, where they hid the money around the room. And essentially, if you go into a situation thinking that you're lucky, you will find more money. Your life will be better if you're telling yourself good things on a regular basis. So actually, since I was just talking about subconscious today and how important that is, what you're feeding your subconscious mind. I know Penny and I have talked about this, because Penny refuses to watch like crappy movies now. She watches like comedy and good stuff like that. And if you're feeding your mind anything from the media, it is opening your subconscious mind up to planting whatever seeds, the shows, the news, the newspaper, the music, whatever. It's just planting seeds in your subconscious mind. So let's just say, normally you're a really calculated person. You're thinking about all these things, analyzing your life, and you're now at this level where you're trying to be happy all the time, where you're trying to seek the high road, where you're trying to serve yourself, all that kind of stuff. And then you sit down and you watch a drama, some kind of, tense, intense. There's a lot of fear based in this kind of thing. When you're watching movies, you're not making a decision. In fact, you're purposely shutting your conscious mind off so that you can experience the movie. Otherwise, you would go to the movies and you'd be like, or sit on your couch and say, this is just a bunch of flashing light off of a screen and sound waves. This isn't a real life experience. But we feel it. We get really, really into it and really feel the movie. So what other things in life are we just exposing our subconscious mind to? Arguments with people. Anytime we are reactionary, it's just pure subconscious. We are not at the wheel. The consciousness is no longer at the wheel, and that's really, really important. So if you want to go from anxious to peaceful, you have to practice more mindfulness. I think that was a big topic on there as well. So Rebecca says, I only watch comedy and family movies. I haven't watched a scary movie in a decade. And that's it's kind of a good thing, because when you're struggling or getting over anxiety, as you are, you don't really want to invite things that are just going to plant seeds of anxiety in your mind. So Penny says, but couldn't we watch anything we want and control how we feel about it? Heck yes, absolutely. But I would ask you not to do that. I would coach you not to do that, encourage you not to do that. Thank God, Jenny is here. Hey, Jenny. Because you are having a tough time controlling, and other people are having a tough time controlling how they feel on a regular basis. So you're not even watching a movie, and if you're having a hard time feeling happy, then maybe you shouldn't be just cracking your subconscious mind wide open to these experiences. So think of it like your subconscious is the farm. Your conscious mind plants seeds into the farm on a regular basis. So if consciously you're saying, I'm happy, I'm confident, I'm a go-getter, I have lots of energy, I love life, I'm grateful, you're planting seeds. Then when you're not consciously thinking, when you're not really at the wheel and you're sitting there and your mind says, hey, you're stupid. And if you go, oh man, am I stupid? Like, I don't feel good about like my intelligence level. And I remember a couple of times when I did look really stupid. Now you're planting seeds for stupid. And your subconscious mind was bringing that up to you because it's just something that's been planted, like looking out on the farm and grabbing an ear of corn. It's already there. And it's reminding you that it's there, but now you're planting more of that stuff. So then watching a movie turns off the whole you planting process, and the movie is planting all these things for you. So Penny says, right. Laura says, I'm here, but probably can't stay. Jenny says, hey. Kayla says, Napoleon makes me happy. Me and you could probably quote that whole movie, Kayla. I love it. So it's you're able to watch movies, listen to music, read the newspaper, all that kind of stuff. But just know that when you're not consciously thinking because that would ruin the movie too, right? If you're sitting there watching a horror movie, you're like, this is fake. This is definitely fake. I'm not going to get emotionally involved in this movie at all. Someone jumps up and you're just like, no, that's not real. It's a movie. I love myself. I love my life. That would be the way you'd have to plant seeds during that movie. So the thing is like, once you have a great big farm of happiness and love and peace and gratitude, then watch all the crap you want, for sure. And I'm not really trying to discourage people from watching movies. I'm just trying to get people to think about it. That's all. We took a break. All we do is, like, my wife and I, we watch movies. That's our thing. And we took a big break from them because we kind of noticed, like, we're watching these dramas on Hulu that were really good, but like it put us into a funky mood afterwards, and we thought about it, and we're like, oh my God, it's so true. And then I researched it, and like, sure enough, lots of people back me up on it. Rebecca says, it's a nice, sunny, chilly day. I'm going to walk to the bus stop and get my son. I hope to get back here. Awesome. Beautiful. Look at that attitude. And like, I think that ignoring is worse. Hey, Tracy. I think that ignoring is worse than trying to point things out. So what like Rebecca is doing there is a really good example. It's really gloomy here today and really chilly, but I could say, I could just ignore that because it's not the prettiest day, or I could go out there and say, it's so peaceful and quiet out here. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like, the only movie I have actually watched over 5 times since its release is maybe The Intern. It just makes me feel all warm on the inside. The Intern. Is that with, because it's The Intern, it's one person. I don't know if that's with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, or am I thinking of a different movie? What is The Intern? Anywho, tell me what it is, and I'll come back to it. I feel like I must have seen it before. So, yeah, guys, just think about how you're planting seeds. And if you're not consciously planting enough seeds for calm and peace and happiness, get on it. How do you do that? Set an alarm on these appendages that we carry around all day. Set an alarm. That's what I do. It works really well. All right, numero dos, and feel free to ask as many questions as you guys want, was responsibility. So, Mustafa, excellent. Glad to see you, brother. I didn't realize you could. Oh, no, I did. You said you watched like 10 of my videos. It's Al Pacino in The Intern, Tracy says. Oh, that was such a good movie. No, it's not Al Pacino. It's Robert De Niro. Everyone always gets those two mixed up. It's De Niro, and he comes in a tie, and he helps like this super techie like startup company do really, really well. And Anne Hathaway, that's right. That's fantastic. That was such a good movie. See? That stuff, that's like feel-good stuff, those kind of movies, they're fantastic for you. And you even said it makes you feel all warm inside, right? So what is that doing? It's planting these ideas in your mind that life has synchronicities and beautiful happenings and stuff. It's all right, Tracy. Everybody mixes up those two. Which is funny because they're nothing alike, but it's like they've been in so many movies together and they're kind of like the same age, and yeah. Kayla says Joe Dirt. What a funny movie. All right, so we go from lack of control to responsibility, right? What are the processes and the steps for that? So before I was talking about truth versus what's right. What's right is what you can validate. Truth is what's going to serve you and make you happier, make you calmer, make you more at peace. So that's about taking responsibility for everything in your life, every single thing. And I'm in a lot of other groups, and I'm always trying to paint this picture, and this is like the hardest pill in the world for people to swallow. I want you guys to look at it this way. It's not about fault or blame, but I'm going to use the word fault for a second. Penny says she has one TV in her house, and the kids always complain when I won't let them watch crime shows. LOL. It's tough. I used to argue with my parents, too. My parents had a little bit of a different motive with what to watch on TV, but it's still kind of the same thing. And those crime shows, God, I think I watched like every single like CSI type show there was. I would binge watch those things, but they're awful for you. They really are. But I'm not trying to bash good TV. I'm a connoisseur of movies and TV. Absolutely. Just trying to get you to think. Taking responsibility in your life is really, really important. I would look at it this way. Why be a victim of anything? Why be a victim of circumstance? Why be a victim of your past? Why be a victim of your own mind? Don't be. Take responsibility for your lives. If you learn to take responsibility for everything, especially your own thoughts, then instead of your thoughts going, well, why is this happening to me? Why does my life suck? Why is this always happening to me is like the biggest question. Then you're going, what can I do differently? How can I change this situation? When you're saying, so when I was growing up, my father had this thing that he would say a lot, and he would say that the caps have a curse. You have the cap curse. I'd tell him it's the cap curse, you know? And we were cursed, him and me. We were, him and I. And if you guys think you're cursed too, you are cursed, absolutely. But if you think that you're not cursed, you're not as well. It depends. It only depends on what you think you are, because what you think you are, the more thoughts you have towards that will describe your intention in life, and your intention in life will become who you are and what you experience. So if you believe that you're lucky, you'll be a luckier person. That's just how it is. So to take responsibility for things, when things happen to you and when you experience things, choose to think, Penny says she's not cursed. Excellent. Don't be. Say, I'm lucky, I'm happy, I'm grateful. You choose to look at things from the perspective of like, what can I do differently? How can I change? How can I grow? How can I evolve? And the more you do this, the easier it gets, and it always kind of sucks. But eventually you get to a place where then you start realizing when you're wrong about things that it's a beautiful thing. Imagine that. Someone shows you that you're wrong about something, even if it's something that you've thought for 50 years, and you realize that you're wrong. It's a beautiful thing, because then you're like, oh my gosh, now I can just change that. And, the floodgates will open and my life will get so much better. And that's what being wrong is great for. In school, wrong is so bad. You don't want to be wrong in school. But in real life, you want to be wrong about things. I mean, you don't want to be wrong all the time, but when you're wrong, then you know what to do. So the thing is, the tricky thing is, especially like entrepreneur types like myself and some of the people in the group, if you're starting your own business and things are kind of going okay and then they're kind of not, and you have no idea why, that sucks. But if someone comes along and says, dude, you cannot write an email for your life, or your website looks like garbage, or I read your ebook and it stinks, like it really stinks, this is what you're doing wrong, then you're like, oh, if I fix that, things will get better. So being wrong is a good thing in life if you know exactly what it is that you're wrong about. So try, fail, but fail forward, right? And when you fail forward, then you're still moving forward and you can do better. That's why being wrong is good. So when things happen to us, or when we feel a certain way, I'm going to use an example of somebody very dear to me who has expressed some pain in their lives. They say, I have these horrible negative thoughts in my head. They pop into my head, and like, why do they pop into my head? The question shouldn't be why, it should be, what can I do about this? And if we take responsibility for the thoughts that are in our head, because you know what, that's our farm up there. And although our parents and the media and school and our friends and ourselves have accidentally planted a lot of crap instead of crop, we still need to take responsibility for it, because nobody else is going to do that. So you're just going to be a victim for the rest of your life if you don't take responsibility for these things. It's the same thing. If somebody runs into you, you should be asking, what can I do about this? How can I feel differently about this? How do I want to feel? What's going to serve me? Guys, feel me? Are there any problems out there that you guys are like, well, that's just not my responsibility? How can I make this my responsibility? Because I don't want to experience this more, and I want to experience a better life, Kale. What can I do? I'm just another person like you guys, right? I'm not, nobody's different. Nobody has ever been different. All of us are just people. It's so like the problems that exist in our lives, big or small, we're all experiencing problems, and we all are going to experience similar problems in our lives, essentially. Yes, some of us ask for more. Some of us put ourselves into horrible situations. Yeah, but Yoda's just another Jedi. And you guys are Jedis as well. You're Jedi in training, Kayla. You're Padawan. No, really, though, you're a Jedi now. You've upgraded. Just different levels of Jedi-ness. But it's all the same. It's not like I have more powers. Maybe I can drive more than you can, or I can get outside more than Penny can. But I struggled with anxiety for a really long time. It hurt. It hurt. It was awful. It hurt my wallet a lot as well, but it hurt all my relationships. It hurt my stomach. It hurt my brain. It was awful. And I struggled with depression. I struggled with PTSD, and I struggled with insomnia. Just like you guys, though, I learned to cure it. And you guys are learning too. When you're on the other side, you're going to say, oh, I'm just the same person, but now with a better outlook on life and with better tools, or maybe the knowledge on how to use these tools better. It's like you all have the tool belt with these tools, and I'm just showing you how to use them, right? Right now, you guys are hitting yourselves in the head with the tape measure sometimes, and I'm like, no, that's for measuring. And you're like, sweet. Then you measure and you level up, something like that. I don't know, my analogies are getting worse. So, what is responsibility? It's freedom. It's giving you the freedom to experience life the way that you want to experience. Jedi-ness. Tracy says. Excellent, right? Number 3 is, when you're feeling foggy, when you're not feeling as smart, when things aren't very clear, when you're indecisive, when you're suffering from absent mindfulness, all this kind of stuff. How do we hone in on responsibility and peace of mind? Through acceptance. Acceptance is the way that is the step that we need to take to be more responsible and gain more freedom in our lives. So, if something happens, it happened, and just accept it. Like it's the weirdest thing for people to do for some reason. It's like if we broke our foot, then we would stare at our foot and we'd be like, oh my God, it's broken, and now I'm going to have to go to the hospital, and what am I going to do? And then you get a cast on, and you're like, now my life is ruined, and there's this, and there's that, and this. And we focus so much on the foot as if it's continuously breaking, right? It's breaking some more, it's hurting some more, it's breaking some more, but it broke, and now we have to move forward. So acceptance is all about just rolling with it, being calm and comfortable with everything in life. You broke your foot, yes, that's going to be hard to be calm about, but that's only the pain that we're talking about. It's the worrying and the fear and the what if's going to happen and how am I going to, and all this kind of stuff. Our minds already know how things, we think that we calculate, right? We think that we have to figure everything out, and that's what worrying is, and that's what regretting is, but that's not true. Worrying and regretting are completely useless. They are. They can be good catalysts, say, oh, I regret this. No, actually, I'm going to do something different. But to continuously regret is such an awful thing. So acceptance. It's so important that you guys learn to just accept your lives how they are right now. Accept the person that you're being right now today, and then choose what you're going to do about it, right? Acceptance doesn't mean lie back and take it. Acceptance means don't dwell on the problem. You guys get me? What other kind of notes do I have here that's really important? Yeah, so whatever happens, it can't be any other way. Lisa, what is synchronicity to walk in right now, huh? I swear, if there isn't a God, I'd be pretty surprised. Not a God necessarily, but it's weird, because I was just talking to you about acceptance, and you just popped on. So it's not about trying, Lisa. We're going to rewind back. We were just talking about Jedis and Yoda and stuff. There is no try. There is do or do not. No try. You know? So it's not about trying, right? It's just, okay, it is what it is. And just, Mom, you're going to see the doctor. Granddaughter, you'll learn someday. I can't change you. I know I can't, so I'm just going to let it go. I accept you. Yeah, Lisa says she's doing. That's what I'm talking about. I did, yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. CSI Miami is now just a meme. That's right, Horatio. I don't let my brother watch crap quality television shows. Whenever I'm home, making mistakes is natural. No one is perfect. And if anyone does seem perfect, it's because at some point in their lives, they must have made a truckload of mistakes and taken the right message and moral from those failures. Honestly, in the past 6 months after taking responsibility for my actions, it feels like I'm in more control. So see, I remember he chimed in quite a bit during this one about responsibility. My brother here from another He says that his life has changed quite a bit when he started taking so much responsibility for it. You got to think about it. It's not like, why do I have, like, if you're sick, if you have a disease, you shouldn't be thinking like, oh God, why? You should be thinking how and what. What can I do differently? What should I be doing differently in my life? That's how you should think about it. Take full responsibility for it. Doesn't matter how crazy it is. It doesn't matter if somebody stabs you, because the more you focus on them stabbing you, now you're suffering from them and believing that they're just an awful person for whatever purpose that they stabbed you, instead of thinking about how we're going to get this knife out. And you're living in fear from this person instead of figuring out how we're going to stitch this thing up. You know what I mean? It's kind of a ridiculous example, but you have to look at everything on what and how instead of why. Take responsibility. It feels like I'm in more control, feels like I have a hand over everything influencing me, and it's becoming slightly easier to accept failures and seeing the good in the failure. Not entirely there yet, but looking back after the version of me 6 months ago, I'm miles ahead. Absolutely. And I think the example here is like 6 months, you can do a lot in your life. And when you come out of this, you can write the guidebook for people just like you on how to have more acceptance and take on more responsibility, because it doesn't even need to last that long. It doesn't even need to be 6 months. My journey's been much longer than that for acceptance and responsibility, and I'm still trying to take responsibility for things in my life. It's so counterintuitive, but you have to do it. It's the only way that you're going to progress and grow. So what was number 4? That was regret and worry and getting more in the present moment, right? And this is like a really big deal. Kayla says she had a great weekend. Fantastic. Getting into the present moment is such a big deal. So the first thing that I try to teach everybody is the pause breath, is just to stop, pause, deep belly breathe, and just be there for, even if it's half a second, if it's a millisecond, it's more than you're getting on an average day, especially if you're suffering from anxiety. So you stop, you pay attention to where you're at for a split second, and you try to let go of regretting. Forgive yourself, right? Forgive yourself for hanging on to pain for so long, because holding on to pain is like holding onto a hot coal and hoping to burn whoever burned you in the first place. It's just, you're going to get burned. You got to be able to let things go. You got to be able to roll with the punches. You have to be able to accept. Regret and worry. Do you guys ever think that regret and worry are okay? And there's no wrong answers here. It's just that if you say yes, it's definitely wrong, okay? I'm just kidding. But if you have questions, like, you know, let's break them down and figure these things out. Regret is like repeating the negative experience over and over and over again. And if you're thinking about a negative experience over and over and over again, what are you doing in your subconscious mind? You're planting negative seeds. So what does that mean for your intention? That means that you're intending to experience more of those. So your eyes and your ears and everything will be geared up and ready to look for more of those things. Yeah, analogies are sweet, huh, Kayla? That's what, if you can't forgive somebody, it's like sipping poison and expecting them to die. That's exactly what it is. And forgiveness is more about forgiving yourself. Forgiveness isn't about making the same mistake either. People often think, well, if I forgive him, then I'm going to go back to him and he's going to cheat on me again. And I'm like, no, that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is choosing not to feed yourself that anger, that poison over and over again. That's what forgiveness is. Don't date that guy anymore, right? That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is just saying, I'm not going to be angry at him anymore. I'm gonna think good things about our relationship and understand that I have room to grow. Especially if we're talking about relationships. If you don't want to attract that guy again, you really have to learn from that mistake. And it wasn't like, oh, I choose the wrong guys. It's like, what is it about your self-esteem? What is it about how much you wear on your sleeve that attracts the type of guy that would cheat on you? I feel like we're getting like deep into a fictitious example here. I'm going to move forward. So worrying is like asking the GPS, are we there yet? When clearly it says that you have another 35 miles to go. Really, people that have anxiety, worrying is like asking the GPS if you're almost there. not going anywhere, and your phone's not even on. That's how useless the worrying is. And people are like, no, worrying is caring. Worrying is not caring. Let's think about this. If my little guy was 16 and he's out there driving, if I'm worrying about him all the time and then he comes home and I'm like, oh, you're okay. Oh my God. Thank God you're okay. I've been worrying sick. You know, not only am I feeding my own body cortisol and adrenaline and it's killing my organs, but then he comes home and I'm feeding him fear. And I'm feeding him the lack of confidence in his abilities to just go out and drive and do something that he should be able and capable of doing because he's got his license now in this, 14 years in the future example. So how is worrying caring? Caring is, I'm going to show him how to drive the right way. I'm going to tell him the rules of the road. I'm going to treat him as if he is my son, so I'm going to expect him to do some of the stupid things that I did and just try to beat him with a punch and then let him go. That's caring. People think that you have to show other people pity in order to show them that you care. This is another weird misconception here. All the crying in the world will not make other people happy. No matter how sick you get, you will not heal other people. You guys have to understand that. It's a very interesting and funny thing to say. It's a strange concept. But we think that we have to share in the misery to show that we care. And that's wrong, because that just makes us more miserable, which in turn is going to make everyone else even more miserable. We have to learn to practice caring without feeling like garbage. All right? So number 5 was gratitude. Did anybody in here start taking a gratitude journal? Start writing in the morning and the evening and trying to find things that you're grateful for? Anybody? It's the most important part. Number 5, be grateful. So no matter where you are right now, you have the ability to watch me. Some of you are live and some of you will be watching this later tonight and early tomorrow. You have technology that you can watch some guy in Hershey, Pennsylvania talk to you about how to be happier and have a happier life from a smartphone or a computer or something, but it's some smart piece of technology for sure. So there's something to be grateful for, but your breathing, your eyes potentially work, or your ears potentially work. Your mind is working to a good extent. That's a beautiful thing. These are very important. Kayla, gratitude. You wake up and you think about 3 things that you're grateful for, or think about 1, but feel it. So for instance, if you're grateful for your husband, think about why you're grateful for your husband. Think about the things that he does and write them down too, and then feel it. Really, really feel it. And the feel it part is the brain rewiring, is chemical. It's very important. But the more you feel gratitude for things, the more you gear your mind up to look for things to be grateful for, which means that you'll attract more things into your life that you'll be grateful for. That's really important. Worry to an extent, yes. It's a potential fuel in driving you to greatness, not worrying excessively, but rather recognizing why you're worried and then not working on the cause. So totally agree with you, brother. It's a perfect catalyst. Same thing with regret. It's like going to snap you into something. But worrying is like it's a thing. Like it's a process, right? It's what I would say is that I'm worried about this test I have coming up. What do I do about it? I'm going to study. But while you're studying, you're not going, oh God, this test is going to. You're studying, right? You're in that mode. But if you're going, oh my God, this test is going to suck, you're not really studying, so that's really taken away from it. So I know that we're on the same page for sure there. Regret too is like a life lesson. Dwelling on the past is easy, like really easy. Anyone can do it. But regret, if it turns into introspection as to why the particular scenario turned out as it did, and working on it is good. But I believe caring sums it up very well. So same thing with regret being like this catalyst for let me learn a lesson. That feeling of regret is like, oh yeah, I really regret laying my face on that stove. That was not a good idea, kind of thing. Penny, how do I know if I'm feeling it? You answer me that question, Penny girl. How do you know if you're feeling it? I don't want to enable you. I enable you too much. My sister from another mister. How do you know if you're feeling it? Can anybody help Penny out? Don't help her. I want her to tell me. I'll allow you to use the word in the definition if you'd like. How crappy this water bottle is, so banged up. This is a freebie. I'm very grateful for this stainless steel water bottle that I've had for like 8 years. Kayla says, you feel great. Penny says, no, I don't. Enable her. Liar. Lisa, what do you mean, I just it? School principal called. LOL. I'm guessing that's the granddaughter. Oh, I just missed it. I don't know what you missed. We've gone over 5 topics, my sister. So Kayla's essentially right. You feel. How do you know you feel it? You feel it, okay? That's how. If you're saying stuff and you don't feel really good about the things that you're saying, then you don't feel it, right? That makes sense? No, you're right, Kayla. You're just being specific to feeling great. You could be feeling excited. You could be feeling motivated. You could feel, angry. Whatever it is you're trying to feel. That's all right, Lisa. You can watch the recap. The replay will be on in like 5 minutes after this. But if you have questions, I'm here for you. So guys, if I can answer anything, let me know. The next video is going to be on trust because I see that that's a big one. And the following video is going to be on overthinking. But what I want to tell you guys about, and anybody watching this video later, is that I am definitely going to start some group coaching to do more like live Q&A type videos and help you guys with your specific problems. And that's going to be paid. So if you're interested in paying for group coaching, let me know. The quality and the value is going to be insane, but the price is not going to be insane. One of my darts, Lisa says. Switch those darts with roses, sister. There you go, Kayla. You feel something rather than nothing. So that's the tough thing. Like people that do gratitude journals, they'll write, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to, but you have to feel it. If you don't feel it, then it's a waste. Feeling grateful, it's like a subconscious smile. No particular reason, but you just feel good. For example, waking up at 4:30 a.m. today just made my day slightly better. So a lot of times waking up at 4:30 a.m. does not make my day better, but that's good for you. I used to get up at 4 every day to go to the gym. Not since my little guy was a couple months, I think. I can't do it anymore. I gotta get back to it though. All right, guys, I love you so much. Let me know if I can do anything for you. I'm going over to do a live in an anxiety group. So wish me luck. If I can do anything for you, remember, let me know. Trust. Overthinking. The videos to come next. Kayla says, how much is group coaching? How much you got, Kayla? Shoot me a message if you're interested in forking over a couple of bills. I actually told you at one point how much it would be. If you want to look back, you can search for it. It's what the majority of the group voted for is probably what I'm going to charge. It's not going to be $2,500, but it's going to be worth that much. All right. Love you guys. Peace.